Greetings, friends and followers. This is Nurses Talking. I am Dale Barzi. And as always, if you like what you see and hear, give us a like, subscribe. Today, my guest is Ms. Kiaudra Oyewole, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so I'm just going to call you Kiaudra.
Or you can
Um,
call me Kia, either way.
Kia. All right, Kia. Kia is a brand new graduate registered nurse.
Yay.
Last day yesterday. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm coming back to normal. I'm getting back to myself now that all of the stress is rolling away and just preparing for the big NCLEX.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, before I forget to do that, I wish you success on that.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell me, what drew you to this profession? What brought you here?
Um, Watching my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
Um, she worked really hard. I saw the passion that she had for the career and like to just help people in general. And I wanted that. I felt like watching her, she had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
She had a reason to live. She had a reason to get out of bed every morning. She had a drive. She had like something bigger than her, and I wanted that feeling in life. I wanted the feeling of knowing that I have people that I care for, that I matter, that, people see me as important, that my views are important, like everything. That's really what inspired me to come to the field. And of course, the money, the pay is really good. So
Ah, uh-huh.
um, I also felt it was a great opportunity to kind of get out of poverty and just have a better life
Okay.
where that's more accessible to the things that I want.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say that what a great example she set for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So how how easy or how difficult was it for you to get admitted to nursing school? Because I hear stories of people who have applied over and over and over again.
Well, I feel like my story was a little different, but not any less challenging.
Okay.
I first started college when I was 18. I'm now 25. In like
Uh-huh.
2 or 3 months, I'll be 26. So I went into college immediately after high school, and I went for nursing at a university. But at a university, you don't get straight in. You have to do your prereqs, and then you have to apply for the upper division. And along that time, I met some challenges along the way, like financial, but mainly it was also me getting in my own way. I wanted my independency. I wanted to like establish myself without
Yes.
living on campus, without any of that. I just wanted to live by myself, have an apartment for myself, go to school. Those were my ambitions, and be able to become a nurse. But it didn't work exactly that way. So uh, in total, before I got to this point, I've been to like 6 colleges before I actually got here and was able to finish and finally get my degree. And
Okay.
a lot of that was just me starting, not finishing, starting, not finishing. It was always something along the way that could trip me up.
Yeah.
And mostly it was finances. And mostly also again too was my stubbornness. I didn't want to follow the path of what my parents told me. I didn't want to do what they suggested. I just wanted it my way. Like I felt like I had enough knowledge. I was like, no, I don't want to live on campus. So I went and tried my own apartment a few times. That didn't work out because of one point when I did it, I didn't have a job. The next time I did it, I had a job, but the location wasn't that safe. So I had issues with that. And so I was constantly like rebuilding myself, constantly rebuilding myself. And then I told myself, I was like, no, I need something. I need something. I was like, I need help. And I was like, I think that led me to like my decision. And I just started praying. I was like, God, I need a helper. I need help. Like, and I started praying and I was like, I need a husband to help me. Like,
Mhm.
and I ended up meeting my husband in 2017 in college.
Yeah.
And for him, I think it was love at first sight because after he seen me, he just kept chasing me. I was really big on faith and big on prayer. So I was
Yeah.
at one point in time, I asked God, I was like, God, can you please help this man find his wife? Because I'm not it, and he's just running after me, and I don't know what's wrong with him. But shortly after, we end up getting engaged, and then we end up getting married, and we
Mhm.
moved to Massachusetts. And when I got here, it took me about maybe 2 years to get accepted into a school. The school I'm finishing at, Library College, is a private school.
Mhm.
So the competition is less steep. They didn't require me to take the T's, which is like another gate like that you have to get through for most universities to
Yeah.
get accepted to the upper division of nursing. So for this school, it was efficient for me. It was 2 years. It ended up being 1 year for me because I finished my prereqs at a community college.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I came here, applied, got in immediately, and I did the program within a year. And now I'm here and I'm graduated. So it's been a long time coming, but
Well, I see that you told me that you are a mentor to fellow students, so I can see where all of that experience that you've had came in. How did that come about? What made you become a mentor?
so I heard about our mentorship program at Laborae, and
Mhm.
I didn't know that it existed at first, but when I heard about it, I instantly wanted to be involved. Like, I wanted to involve myself deeper. I
Mhm.
feel like I had a lot to offer to the new students coming in. And
Mhm.
I also heard about it because when I came in as a new student in nursing, they offered the program to me. They offered it to me like, okay, you're a new student. Would you like to have a mentor, like a student that's
Oh.
like more advanced than you, that's in the upper
Mhm.
level, who can kind of help guide you through, give you tips that'll help you through and be successful in nursing school. So when I did it in fundamentals, I found it very helpful. So I this was just my way of giving back. That's how I got involved. I saw that it was helpful for me. I wanted it to be helpful for other students if I could do it. So that's how I got involved.
Mhm. Mhm. Awesome. So as we're talking about school still, is there anything in your nursing education that you think you would have liked to see, or think anything you would have liked to see in your nursing that you didn't see, that you would have liked to have included?
Yes, definitely.
Like,
Because of COVID pandemic, we didn't get a chance to work with pediatric patients. So we didn't get a peds rotation. I think that was one of the only rotations that I missed because I did have the chance. I was fortunate enough to have the chance to have a maternity rotation. I got enough med surge for everybody. And yeah, so peds, that's really what I wanted to see because I have a liking for children. I love to be around them and their spirit. So I would have definitely wanted to see that more. But I
mhm.
was happy this semester I was able to treat a peds patient in the emergency room. But it was just kind of like I got lucky that day. Like I wasn't looking for it. It just came about. So I would definitely would have liked to see more of it.
I see. So as you bring up pediatrics, you're thinking that as going forward, that is that the area you would like to gravitate to?
Definitely. I would definitely like to explore it, even if it's something that I feel like in the future that it might not work out, I would definitely like to try it. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, what else excites you about nursing? Other than peace, what else excited you?
Oh, so one of the things that I end up growing a liking for that I didn't know I would like that much was learning as much as I did about maternity.
Uh-huh.
Um, I know I used to work in like a nursing home, so I've seen many people prepared and ready for death, and like what that looks like, and how it's like you ushering somebody into preparation for death, like that different side of transition. But I've
Yeah.
never at the time been introduced to a side of nursing where you're actually ushering in life, and it's different and it's beautiful and it's like welcoming. Everybody's excited and happy. The baby's coming. So you just preparing the family. And so I did have a wonderful maternity experience. I got a chance to help prep a patient for a C-section, and I actually got to assist in the OR with the doctor, like, who did the surgery, and like I got to watch them do like anesthesia, the anesthesists do the spinal, like just help the doctors come in and scrub in and stuff. It was very exciting. So just to see that aspect of nursing, it really excited me. So it gave me a different look on nursing. Like, I never really thought about being in maternity, but now I'm like, okay.
I really honestly think it's a huge privilege
Yeah.
to be present when someone enters this world. It really is. And as a midwife, for me, it never got old.
Yeah.
It never gets old. So you mentioned COVID and the pandemic, and I know that you weren't able to do your pediatric rotation, but how else did it affect your practice, your clinical experience?
It affected, well, one I like to talk about, it affected my classroom experience because my entire classroom experience was on Zoom. I've only met two of my professors out of all the professors I've ever had in nursing face to face. And that's huge because I'm an auditorial learner.
Yeah.
So Zoom was a new space for me. I had to learn how to adapt to it. I didn't like it. But I made it work to the best of my ability. I do prefer to sit in the classroom, be in the front seat, be in the front table with the professor engaging, because that's how I learn best. So the Zoom world, it was very hard. It was very challenging to like sit there and listen, force myself to like kind of, listen in and do the best I can to engage. It was hard, but we got through it. And it was, what made it better is when you will see some of the people that you always interact with on Zoom, that we all typing in at the same time. So these were people I never got a chance to meet at the time. And you will always see their name typing in, coming in, or they'll unmute so they can talk. So that affected me greatly because I didn't get a chance to meet a lot of my classmates and develop relationships. As the way I would have liked to. Clinically, it affected my practice because, like I said, some rotations we didn't get. Pediatrics was the main one that we missed. We got all of our med surg rotations, so I didn't miss anything with that. And we also didn't get a fundamentals clinical, but I didn't miss it because it was more of like the basics of nursing, like this, more like the CNA training, which I've already had it. So I felt like I didn't miss anything, but I know for a lot of other of my other classmates who never touched a patient before, who never interacted with a patient before and their family members, that was hard. So they didn't get that. So clinically, that was the only thing, and just having to be extra cautious because of COVID, wearing a mask the entire time. Sometimes we didn't change our mask and different things like that. But I think the hospitals did a great job of having things available for us. We worked. I feel like we worked more because there were more need when we went into the hospital each and every time. It was more for us to do. We definitely had things to do, so we were busy.
So that gave you more experience, huh?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And see, from the outside, one would think that your experience would have been less, but yours ended up being more.
Yeah, and I now like to say I'm one of the more fortunate ones because I do know a lot of nurses. I'm in like a nursing group on Facebook, And when they first started during COVID, they had absolutely no clinical experience.
Okay, okay.
So some people did get greatly impacted by COVID where they didn't get a chance to get, and I do know students in my cohort who didn't get a chance to, they only got one clinical.
Ah,
Yeah. So the whole time, I think I just like well, one of the more fortunate people. Some of my classmates had their clinicals end early, like
okay.
where like so sometimes they'll separate it. So they'll have some go from the beginning of September to like the first week
Yeah,
of November. I got just lucky to get the first clinical because the other group who got the second portion, they didn't even finish the clinical.
I see.
It was some people who it did greatly impacted. I think I just thank God I got everything I need.
Yeah. So I have a question then. I know you have no actual real way of knowing, but do you think we'll actually ever go back then to a full classroom thing, or do you think it will always be hybrid?
No, we're going back to the classroom. I definitely can see that. My school was actually moving back towards it until the Delta variant came about. But so now it's more about we because every state is different. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know in some different states they're already back in the classroom.
Mhm.
For Massachusetts, we're one of the more careful states. So it's like they put us back in the classroom, but then when they saw the numbers going up, it's like, okay, well, let's take a step back and let's see how we can prepare again. But I do know some schools here in the state, they have already went back to class. So
Mhm.
I think every school is different. You know, my school being private, they get a little bit more privilege to kind of
Yeah.
do how they want to do it, like how they see best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, we'll be back. They'll be back.
So when you look ahead, um, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, 20, where do you see Kia?
Honestly, the first thing that came to mind was maternity. Um, and it kind of I don't do well with change because I kind of had my mind set on one thing that I wanted to do, but I don't do well with change. Like sometimes it's hard for me to adapt to the new things that I want to do. I try to kind of pick something so I can be consistent with it, but where I feel like I would thrive, like to me, because to me, maternity was a new language. I've never had a baby before. I don't know what it's like to be pregnant, none of that. So just to learn everything, and I struggled with it in the beginning, but I set myself down and I said, listen, this is a new language for you. Maternity, we don't know anything about this, but you have learned hard things before. And yes, you can learn this hard thing. And I gave myself time to learn this hard thing and I mastered it. And I feel like I am like a master in the subject because I put myself in the position to be like that. Like I feel like in maternity, I had the best professors,
Yeah.
best simulation practitioner, and all of my professors that semester were like loved the concept of maternity, and I feel like with their help, they also put that in me. Um, because sometimes with your professor matters, like who you have as a professor matters. I've always said that, like sometimes you can meet a professor and they don't have that passion, they don't have it in them to like really teach the topic. And I think who you have as a professor really does matter. Like you could have professors who don't have a real drive for the subject that they're teaching, so they're not able to give you the they're not able to give
They're
you
not
like,
able to excite you.
yeah, like and I do better with professors who have the passion, who have the drive. It motivates me to learn what they're teaching about. So yeah, I was blessed to have some really great maternity professors, and they really help
Yeah.
strengthen my desire to know more about maternity.
So with your experience as a mentor, and as I'm talking to you, I'm getting the sense that you have some real insight, not just into yourself, but into how things work. Do you see yourself in the future as an educator?
Yeah,
I can
I
see that.
definitely do. Because I have also had the pleasure of meeting so many great educators, clinical educators, who really took the time to teach us like the like the connections of nursing, how to make connections with disorders, how to make connections like, okay, if this, like, what could cause this disorder, and what, when this disorder happened, what else could this lead to, like how to make the connections in nursing. Like, I feel like nursing is a story, and if you could find the underlying cause of whatever the problem, it'll help you prevent what's coming ahead. It can help you
Yes.
see what's coming ahead, so you can like make different plans in place to like further educate your patient on how to better take care of themselves. So I definitely can see me doing that. And I do love teaching. I love to talk.
I can
uh,
see
I
that.
think, I think that's a part of it. Like, I love to talk and I love to inform. I
Hmm.
definitely love to inform. And my grandmother was really big on that. She did the best that she could to inform a lot of people in her community. Whatever she learned, she didn't mind sharing it. And I feel like I have that same um gift, or that same caringness in me. The power of informing people is a power behind it. So I definitely want to use it more. So I can see myself doing that in the future.
Well, you know what? This is a really huge, huge profession, and there's lots of opportunity
Yeah.
for you. And anyway, while nursing is actually taken care of, it's actually just as much about educating. So
Yeah.
whether it's educating your patient, their family, your fellow nurses, you know, other members of the healthcare team, you're always educating.
That's true.
You're always educating. So I see that you have and will have a lot going on. Um, what do you do for self-care? How important do you think self-care is in all of this big picture that you use to care for other people?
The one thing I learned about nursing is how to have a strong self-care routine. And when I go about meeting other nurses, I always encourage them to do the same thing. When I met my friends that were nurses, even when they knew I wanted to get into the field, they always were motivating me to do more self-care before I even started, because they knew how important it would be. And to me, self-care is 100% a big, huge deal. And
Yes.
I can share with you some of my healthcare routines.
Go right ahead.
Um, One of the things that I have to make sure that are on point, that are necessary, that must get done: my hair, my nails, my toenails. Those things are a must. Like, if any of those are off, I'm gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna feel good. I'm not gonna be happy. And sleep,
Yes.
sleep is a
Mhm.
great part of my
Yeah,
self-care routine, because sometimes nurses, we go, and we never power down. And
that's
like,
right.
let everyone know it's okay to take a nap. It's okay to sleep. You're not lazy if you take a nap. It doesn't mean that you didn't do enough if you take a nap, or that something's wrong. No,
Yeah.
take a nap,
Mhm.
sleep. If you even need to just have a vacation where all you do is sleep, that's okay.
That's
Because
okay.
I tell people I can't vacation inside the state, because if I vacation at home, I'm gonna find stuff to do inside my house, and it won't be vacation anymore. So I have to make sure when I vacation, I go away and it's actually
Hmm.
a vacation. Another big portion that I actually added into my self-care routine is massage.
Okay.
I try to get a massage at least once a month, and is really relaxing. Like, and I particularly like the Chinese massage. They have a massage therapy called, like, the I think it's like tuna massage or suna massage. I'll have to look it up, but it starts with a T, and it's really good. You're there for an hour. It's like a deep tissue massage. It's like kind of herbal. It's a traditional Chinese
Okay.
massage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
where they go in and it's just amazing. And I try to go at least once a month and just, you know, relax and don't think about all my problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it also helped me. It's a good way to breathe, like breathing exercises, meditation, taking walks. I love the beach. So I realized that I haven't been to the beach as much as I would like to. And I probably will go today because like I'm just reminding myself, like before winter comes, I try to make sure I go to the beach as much as possible.
Yes,
Just
yes.
go and just, even if I don't do anything, just go because that's
Just
what I
go.
like to do. It's
Mhm.
therapeutic for me. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know the last time I spoke to a nurse without bringing it up, self-care, because for me it is of utmost importance. And I know it's important for everyone, but I'm a nurse and I think it's particularly important for nurses, but especially because we have the opportunity, for one thing, it's still a female dominated profession,
Yeah.
right? And in our heads, for some reason, we think we have to do a million things at once.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, as nurses, we do have the opportunity. You can work every single day for a year and never take a day off if you wanted to.
That's true.
And so, that temptation is there to think, oh, I'll do this extra shift to do this, and I'll do that extra shift. And the next thing you know, so much time has gone by. You haven't taken a day off. You haven't taken a minute for yourself. You complain that, you didn't have time to to go to the bathroom at work. But when you're away from work, you still did not take time for yourself. So I think, you know, it is of the utmost importance. So I'm really, really glad to hear you doing so many things for yourself, because it is not selfish.
Yeah.
It is that you have to replenish yourself if you are to give all of that you're expected to give.
Yes. It's just like when you get on a plane and they tell you put the oxygen over yourself before you put it over somebody else.
Exactly.
You have to, as a nurse, before you can give like efficient care to your patient, you have to make sure you first are covered. I
Yeah.
can only give what I have. So if I'm not replenishing myself, when I go to give to somebody else, what I'm giving away could hurt me at that
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
I have to be able to give when I'm able to give. Because when
Hmm.
I'm not able to give, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
cost effective for me.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm really glad to say that you do that. So if you had to give advice, what words of encouragement, advice, and as a mentor, I know you have done this, would you give though to someone who, let us say a high school graduate, who now wants to become a nurse, who's considering becoming a nurse? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to follow their heart, follow their dreams. Like if this is something that they are truly passionate about, go for it. Don't let anybody stop them or like change their mind. Stay focused. Don't get consumed by distractions because they are there and they will. More will come. And you have to be able to have that tunnel vision and just make a plan. If you have to write it down, that's fine, and follow it. It's better when you first put it on paper. And then when you look back and see that, oh, I've actually done all these things already. Like when you write things down, it's like a magic behind writing it down. It kind of like it sticks and it seals.
Yeah.
And like when your brain knows that, that's what they even tell us when we take our nursing notes. The more you write, the more it's likely to stick. So when you write it down, it's like a power in writing it down. Your brain knows that this is information that I need, and it'll create a path for you, and you follow the path and go for it. And also, if you have good parents, listen to them. That's if you have good parents. Not everybody are fortunate to have good parents. Is understandable. But if you have good parents, listen to them because they only want to help. They see the trouble of head ahead. They've been in your shoes before. They know what it's like to be young and to be hungry for success or something better for yourself. So if you have good parents, try your best to listen to them and see them for all the wisdom and experience that they have.
Okay. Awesome, 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 awesome. I really have loved talking to you, really, Kia. And so I'd like to really take this time to thank you so, so very much for taking the time to speak to me, especially today. Just because I know you have gone through all of this and yesterday was your last day, it would be quite understandable if you said, no, I want to take a whole week off. I don't want to talk to anybody about this.
No. When I first got the invite, I was very blessed and very excited about it. And so I know I wrote it down and I remembered, I was like, okay, I have something coming up. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you've been so diligent and good about reaching out to me. And that was helpful for me. So I feel like, communication, great communication is key to anything you want to
Yes,
do.
it is. Yeah.
And you are a very effective communicator. And that was a lot of the biggest part of the success today, because that helped push me to get up and just, know that it don't have to be perfect. I just need to be there.
You just need,
I
yes.
just need to be present. And I will also encourage students that's graduating, like, and they're getting in college, to get involved.
Mhm.
Get involved on campus. Don't just sit around and be idle. Don't just let college happen to you. Get involved in the college experience. Like, because the more you involve, the more likely you are going to be to succeed
Just,
in college. And
mhm.
there's just like good statistics behind that. Like, when a person feels a part of something, they have this sense of belonging, this
Yeah.
sense of I belong here, and they make it work. like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I have a family over here, I have a group over here, and I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna pull through. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's what my school gave to me. Like, I always wanted to be in the student body government at school. I thought about it in high school. I didn't have the chance. And in college, when I realized one of my classmates, she was younger than me, and I found out she was the president of the SGA in my class. And I'm like, wow, that's possible. We can do this. Like, so when I found out, I was like, I want to do that one day. And the opportunity came up for me. I joined a Zoom meeting. It was random. I just wanted to come and find out more about the club. And they end up wanting me to be the secretary of the Student Nursing Association. I remember leaving the meeting that day, and I was just going home to sleep, and I wake up to an email saying, hey, would you like to be the secretary of the Student Nursing Association for Library College? Like, they heard you speaking to the younger students, they really gravitated to you, they feel like you have a lot to offer, would you like to do this? And I said, yeah, of
Yes,
course.
please.
So I jumped on immediately, and like, since I've been a part of that family, I can truly call them a family. We have our group chat, we have our group emails, we just had our group bowling night 2 weeks ago, so I was so excited about that. So we were meeting each other all for the first time after months of just seeing each other on Zoom. So it's life changing when you get involved. Even when I found myself not doing so good in some of my class assignments, knowing that you have other people who lit the pathway and already went ahead of you and became nurses, because the other girls are already nurses. They graduated before me. So it
Okay.
was left to take the NCLEX and one other girl. And to have them motivating you, to have them encouraging you, saying, yes, you can do it. Yeah, we've done it. This is my story. This is our story. You can do it. Just keep going. Call me if you need anything. That pushed me to really go for it. Like, if I was feeling down, if I was feeling bad, like, because I was a part of something.
Yes.
So I believe, like, I will also tell them to get involved as much as possible.
And that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing because as you mentioned, it becomes like family.
Yeah.
And you really need that in this profession. You really do, because it can be so draining and so
Yeah.
taxing at times that you really need to be able to, even literally and figuratively fall back into family's arms, if you know what I mean. So
Yes.
yeah, I agree. Kia, thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate talking to you this morning, or you talking to me this morning. Thank you so very much for doing this. And I wish you so much success on the NCLEX and as you go forward on your nursing journey. Stay in touch.
Thank you. I will definitely post it.
All righty. Thank you, my dear. Have a great day.
You too.